welcome back to the Money Goddess podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Thomas-Bridges, and I'm so excited about today's episode. So, I am going to be going all in to help you prepare for the new year, or if you are listening to this later on in 2025, trust me, this is still going to help you. What I want to focus on is helping you to transform your life in 90 days. So you can apply this at any time and yield those results. I am going to give you the step-by-step tips and habits to be able to quantum leap your reality. So I'm telling you, you want to get out your journal for this. If you are listening in on the radio, YouTube, whatever, you can always come back to this. You can also go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts to catch up on these episodes. Now, let's dig in. So, I am going to be giving you exact step-by-step processes because I really want you to be able to be successful and have long-term growth, as opposed to you just getting like all excited for this new year. You're like thinking maybe this is going to be a great year, all of this, all of that, but not recognizing and realizing that you can actually start today. So I started my 90-day process on October 1st, which that's called now the winter arc, which I kind of like that name. It's like, all right, I'm going inward. I'm really getting to my truest self. I'm getting to my highest self, and I'm able to reflect on the past year and really just dig deep. You know, we all go indoors when it starts to get at those cooler temperatures, and we just have that time to really see like where we are in life, what we want to do moving forward, you know, and just allowing ourselves to see where we want to go within the new year. Now, for me, I want to be very crystal clear. The first thing you want to do is focus in on one area in your life, okay? In order for you to have the most success for 2025, when you are looking at an area that you might have the most trouble with, that is going to help you transform that area faster. Hello, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you live. Hello, everyone. We are digging into all things Winter Arc Edition, how to make your life so much more successful. What's up? What's up? Thank you so much. Okay, so the first thing in order to have a strong Winter Arc Edition, as I shared, is I want you to focus in on one area of your life, okay? It's very easy for you as you are preparing for 2025 to focus on like 5 or 6 different areas, and then you find yourself not even able to master anything. It is better to be efficient in one area than to be deficient in multiple areas. So I'm telling you guys, I want you to get your journals out and just take that time to write out at least one area that you feel you could use the most improvement. Now, for me, I started my winter arc, as I mentioned, in October, and I wanted to focus on fitness. As I was reflecting over the year of 2024, I was like, listen, like, that's an area while I've been working on it, I'm not really seeing the exact results that I would like to have. And so I want to welcome you to comment your area you want to focus on. Like, what is it that you feel like you really need to change? I know I needed to change in specifically fitness because it would affect everything else in my life. If I wasn't the most healthy, I would not be able to do my work as well. If I wasn't getting the cardio in, or the building my stamina, it just wouldn't feel good for me, right? And it led to self-esteem. You really want to see how one area can change your life. Okay, I see. Oh, awesome. You're working on your winter arc. Okay, first keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay. Tell me more about for your winter arc. What is it that you are working through? What is it, the couple things that you're thinking of? Would love to hear that. I enjoy doing this live now because I get to talk to you guys and just see how I can help more in a live setting. Legs and upper body. Oh, you know what? For my fitness journey, I actually do Pilates. So that might be helpful for you. Pilates. It really tones and helps you a little bit more as well. There's the flexibility, the core, all of those things. And you guys, that's the result that I actually got. I was lifting before my winter arc, and then I started doing Pilates, and I have already lost 5 pounds within 2 weeks. Yes. So I'm really pressing towards my goals. And so for me, instead of trying to do like so many different workouts, I'm only really doing 2 things that I know will stick. And that's like fat burning, HIIT exercise style, and then Pilates. It really, really helps. So that brings me to my next point. Now, as you are focusing in on your one area for your winter arc, if you notice you're not hitting your goals, it might be because you have too many things going on, even in that one area. So what I did was look at, okay, what are 1 to 2 habits that I could change and get the most success. So for me, it was changing and doing Pilates, right? What about for you? If your particular winter art goal is about finances, what is maybe 1 to 2 things that you could potentially change, right? And just really think about that. Once you master those 1 to 2 things that you're changing and what you're focusing on for your winter arc, you will begin to see better results for yourself. Now, another thing, whenever you are deciding your one area you want to focus on, you want to tap into your zone of genius. And what that means is we all have a way in which we do our best with our goals. And one way to do that is to really learn all you can about the area you're struggling with. Dig in deep so that you can become a genius at whatever it is you are trying to achieve. So if you are struggling with your finances, right, and you want to save more money, think about how you can do that, right? Go read a personal finance book. Maybe you might even want to just look at your expenses and your income and see if there are additional areas that you might be overspending. If you have business goals, maybe you want to pick up your clientele. And what ways can you do that? Are you maybe signing up to work with a coach? Just think about ways you can make yourself a genius in that area. So here's something you might want to put down in your journal. So I'm going to give you some journal prompts to use to help you. What area of my life would I like to focus on for my winter arc? Number 2, what area of my life am I working on consistent habits, and what are they? So what are those habits that you are wanting to form, right? And what should I take the time to learn about the area I want to work on, right? So I want you to think about what you want to work on, the habits you want to build, and then what might you need to learn. because a lot of us are not getting where we want to be because we have not educated ourselves in that area, and we're kind of like just throwing something at our goals and hoping that it sticks. The reality of it is we need to get crystal clear, we need to get knowledgeable, and we need to stack those habits. So that brings me to our next piece, where we are creating 3 action steps that we're going to take each day. Now, you can make that 1 to 3 action steps. It doesn't have to be 3, but we want to make sure that we are taking that consistent action on a daily basis, because habit stacking is going to get you where you need to be quicker. Okay? So, now the first thing, you will want to plan out when you're going to do your habits. So as I shared with you all, I'm working through fitness. So as I'm doing that, I know when I wake up in the morning, I'm listening into, my regular affirmations, and I am doing my body sculpting. So I have a body sculptor that I use on my arms, and I'm using on my stomach right now. And that has really, really helped me to tone up. So that's one habit I have. The other, as I shared with you all, I joined Pilates. And then my third habit that I have is I have a very high protein diet. So by focusing in on those 3 things, as I mentioned, I've already lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks, which I'm really excited about that. And I weighed myself, I think, last week. So, more weight might have dropped off. I'm not really big into focusing on that, but it lets me know I am getting towards my goals. So plan. When you plan and you know when you're going to do those habits, I write mine in my calendar. I know what days I'm going to Pilates, and I know what type of meals that I'm going to have that will have that high protein. That is going to help you really stick to what you are doing. It's going to be a routine. It won't be something you do randomly, because a lot of us may randomly do things and expect results. If you haven't done something, they say 21 days makes a habit. I really think 90 days is a better way to go, because it's almost like if you don't do it, you will be like, what? Like, why did I not do this? And you'll get right back to it, because it'll become normalized in your life and in your body and a part of your routine. So let's talk about habit stacking, which I kind of shared that a little bit. I do habit stacking. Like I said, I listen to my affirmations and I'm doing my body sculpting. Even if I am listening to a podcast when I'm like on the go, right? If you have that personal development goal or you're learning about your focus area, habit stacking makes things easier for you so you don't feel overwhelmed. My coach years ago, she talked about like, okay, I brush my teeth and I'm doing something else that's going to help me grow, right? I'm going for a walk and I'm doing something that's going to help me grow. Those are the things that you want to do, because it just gets your body moving, your mind moving, and it's imprinting in your daily life. Or if it's affirmations, it's imprinting in your subconscious mind. So just find ways to stack those habits, as opposed to trying to do every single individual thing and then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do all of this. You can make the time by stacking the habits of things that you're already doing. Just add it in there. Okay, next thing, I want you to commit to what you are doing with those actions. A lot of people don't really take accountability. They'll say they want something, but they really don't follow up with it. And that's why it might be good to get an accountability buddy. If there's someone that you love and trust and they want to see you grow and they're also trying to grow, maybe you should work together with them and they can motivate you to come in and to really, really get into your zone with your winter arc and what you are focusing on. Remember, you only have one thing, so that makes it a lot easier as opposed to doing multiple things. And then just finding your people that can help you. You might want to join a Facebook group. You might want to get into maybe a community, just somewhere where you know your area of focus, you have people around you that are wanting to do the same thing that you want to do as well. Now, another thing is making a checklist. I know it sounds simple, so I'm more of a self-starter. I don't really need an accountability partner to get me going. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I just do it. And I always have been that way. I know that's not how everyone is. But for me, seeing my checklist in my calendar, or if I have one on my phone as well, just seeing that really puts me in a space where I am holding myself accountable and I'm checking things off for the day. That feels good to me. That feels like not only am I being productive, but I'm being consistent with what I promised myself. And the more you keep your promises to yourself, the better you feel about yourself. So while I love, glowing up and having my winter arc, it's beautiful. I also know that my self-esteem, my confidence is going to skyrocket when I keep my promises to myself. Now, a couple extra things. So this is going to be part one. I'll be doing part two at another time. So stay tuned for those of you who are watching me live. I will have that. Make sure you subscribe on my YouTube channel. Again, you can check out Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I record these episodes all the time and I update them regularly. So you can stay tuned to help you on your journey. So, what can help you is also listening to subliminal affirmations. Now, I'm going to share with you what those subliminals really are. So, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the Gateway study, but this was something that was done, like, I believe it was in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. And there were actually some researchers who wanted to know exactly how our brain works, how we pick up things, what type of habits can we develop, does personal development really work? And what they found out is that basically whatever we imprint on our subconscious mind will become our reality. So our reality is made up of about 5% of our conscious mind. So right now we're using our conscious mind. We're here focused. We're thinking through, right? What I am able to pick up is only a small portion of what's really there. My life is ran by 95% of my brain. That's huge. And what that lets me know is that I need to take my power back by making sure my mind is being programmed every single day for what I want, not what the world wants, right? Because there are societal subliminals, pressure. There's also when you're listening into TV, it's tuning you. That's why I don't do TV like being on at night because I don't want anybody talking to my brain but me, or people that I trust when I'm listening to subliminals. It's important for you to do this. The more you train your brain, the better your reticular activating system, which is also called your RAS, it's going to go out and it will be able to pick up everything. So, for example, if you are wanting to manifest, let's say you want to save more money, right? Or maybe you want to make more money. Either way, let's say that you listen to your subliminal affirmations. All of a sudden, you're going to see so many new things come into you. It's going to be like amazingly exciting to see all of these new opportunities. They're going to show up. And it's not that the opportunities were never there. It's just that you were not paying attention to them with your reticular activating system. So I know that I've done this before with money. I would go for a walk, while listening to my affirmations, and I'd find money on the ground. Or I would get like a random check in the mail. So you have to train your brain in order to create whatever it is you desire. And subliminals are the best way to do that. So how to make those subliminals? I recommend you using the Parrot app. I would write down all the reasons why I didn't feel like I could achieve whatever that one thing is you're focusing on making better in your life for your winter arc or 90 days. It depends on when you're listening into this. I would write that down, like, why don't I think I can achieve it? What is holding me back? I'm looking for limiting beliefs I may have. We all have them in a lot of different areas, and sometimes we have to break through those in order to see the success that we want. Once I have written all of those out, then I'm going to turn that around and debunk it. To debunk your limiting beliefs, you need to find evidence as to why your limiting beliefs are a lie. So I know for me, as I'm focusing in on fitness for my winter arc, I personally have had a lot of limiting beliefs because I was afraid to lose weight too fast, because I had done that before in the past and I gained the weight back. And so I was like, oh, I'm kind of scared to start losing weight because I don't want to do it too fast. When in reality, I could still lose the weight. I just have to slow it down in terms of the way that I did it. Instead of just doing fasting, which makes you drop weight fast, but it's easier to put it back on, I decided, okay, higher protein diet, making sure I'm getting my nutrients, and doing exercises that won't bulk me, because I bulk very fast. I'm a very muscular person. Literally, whenever my son was born, my doctor I was getting a C-section, and it took him longer to cut my stomach open. He said, "You are a muscular woman." So those are just the things that kind of help me to know, okay, I can do this, but I just have to find different ways. And that's how you clear those limiting beliefs. Now, before I go on more to tell you about those subliminals, I will share this with you. I have a workbook, Journal Your Way to 100K, that can help you with any area of your life. Of course, I talk about money. I'm the money goddess, but you can do that routine that I just shared with you to create subliminals. I have so many other pieces in the workbook. You can go to shesworthy.org/journal to find that, or grab it if you would like. Now, I do want to mention though, that as you are listening to those subliminals, you want to do that every single day for all 90 days, okay? Even if you don't want to create your own subliminals, which I highly recommend, there are others online on YouTube that you might like. Lisa Alexander is someone that I love her subliminals. She even talks about the usage of them. She goes into details about how we can make sure that those subliminals are going to work for us, because she gives the list of affirmations. You want to know what people are saying. Don't let someone program your subconscious mind without you knowing, hey, this is okay for me to do. This is in alignment with the goals that I am looking to reach. Now, as you are listening to those subliminals, you're going to really begin to see changes. And I do want to point this out, that let's say you really have a lot of resistance to your goal, because sometimes that happens. And you might not feel like making subliminals in the law of assumption state, which would be to assume you already have it. So as you're making your subliminals, you might say, I am a six-figure earner, and I have my dream house. That may not feel good to you right now because you are just opening yourself up. But the way that you can process to do those subliminals are to first off create affirmations to kind of open your mind, right? Maybe do that the first 30 days. Maybe the next 30 days you do affirmations of have it, like I have this. This is mine. And then the next 30 days would be I am, whatever your goal is, right? So that is building up your faith. That's opening your brain up to be able to process what it is you are looking to achieve. You're not going too fast, because sometimes with subliminals, if you aren't quite there and you're starting to listen to something that's like, I have it now, like it's mine, or I am this, it might be past where you're ready for. And that's what a lot of people don't talk about. And that's why some people with manifestation, they have like nervous system issues. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And they begin to self-sabotage. I'm giving you the real. I want you to be able to handle your manifestations and feel good about them. Feel confident, feel like you can handle it. So when we come back for part 2, I'm going to go into more details about how you can make these manifestations sustainable during your winter arc, or if you're doing this for 90 days and get all of the results that you truly, truly want. I love it. I love you guys, and we'll be back. In your manifestation journey of building 6-figure plus wealth, you can use journaling to help you get there. If you would like, you can grab my Journal Your Way to 100K workbook at shesworthy.org/journal. Of this episode from the Money Goddess podcast. You guys, your response to the first half was incredible. Like, I was not expecting you all to really, really dig deep and even want to glow up, for over the next 90 days, especially during this winter arc. So if you are not familiar, the winter arc is where we are taking the time to go within and really work on ourselves while we are in this season. And we're basically trying to propel ourselves forward in quantum leap prior to having to go into the new year. I think that it's important to have a winter arc because it allows you to really focus on yourself and focus on what you really desire to achieve in 2025, as opposed to waiting until the new year to do anything at all. So if you haven't listened to the first part of this episode, I recommend you go back and listen in, because it is going to change your life. This second half is going to give you more tips and an understanding of how to use this winter arc to really get the glow up that you are desiring. So I have shared, the results that I've been getting, and I'm starting to see more. Like, even today, as a part of my glow up, I'm actually in the running for a new position. Like, I am reinventing myself during this journey. And if I would not have taken the time to get prepared for 2025 starting October 1, I don't think I would be where I am today, where I can receive these types of blessings. And I think a lot of people don't understand that it takes preparation to get to where you want to be. I'm actually reading a devotional with some girlfriends, and it is on Joseph. And Joseph has always been one of my favorite people in the Bible. And oh my gosh, you all would not believe like what we have learned. And the biggest thing is that in the waiting process for your glow up, you are going to have to get prepared. Now, I know I'm talking to you about glowing up in 90 days, but it could take less time or it could take more time. But it doesn't matter about the timeline. It's about the intention and the preparation that you are putting in to get the results that you desire to have. And so I want you all to be prepared for this glow up. Don't just go into 2025 not being a better version of yourself than you were in 2024, because there are more blessings that are assigned to you in 2025. There is so much more out there, and you want to give yourself that chance to really blossom, to really move forward in your life. So, for those of you who are tuning in live, comment down below, what are you working on in your winter art? How are you glowing up? If there are questions that you have, you're more than welcome to ask. I am here to be of service to you all. That's why I love doing these live, and I think it's just going to make a huge difference. Comment below, what are you focusing on for your winter arc? Questions you have, I am here. So while you guys are typing in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing some of my tips. So I do want to go back and touch on something that I shared that I think is golden. Hello, hello. And that is, I talked about subliminal affirmations in the first part of this podcast episode. And I want to reiterate, subliminal affirmations are life changing. If you are not listening to subliminals on a daily basis, I encourage you to, because what you have to understand is our brains are not wired for success. When you go out and look back in history, you will find that our brains are like in survival mode. Our brains were not made to thrive. So that's why it's important for you to program your mind with those subliminal affirmations. And I did share that you can go and find my journal, shesworthy.org/journal. And I have all of these steps listed out in a digital workbook for you. It can really help you, but I'm still going to give you those good tips because, look, I give freely. I love this work, and I know that it can change your life like it has changed mine. So, with those subliminals, again, just to recap, you want to create your own by understanding what your limiting beliefs are and how you can debunk those, and then creating positive affirmations to affirm to you the new reality that you would like to create. So, an example of that is if you are wanting to maybe save $1,000 during this winter arc, but you don't believe that's possible because I don't have the extra money, there are more bills coming in. Those are your limiting beliefs. And so you want to debunk those and say, you know what? God can send me a windfall of $1,000. I could get extra work. I could pick up an additional shift. I could start a business, right? You're debunking those beliefs. And then create positive affirmations such as, I am favored by God and I can create any reality that I would like with money. I am abundant. Money chases me down. Listen to affirmations like those every day in the background of your life. And in the first part, I mentioned habit stacking. And habit stacking can help you while you are looking to maybe start your day. You can listen to those affirmations. Program, program, program. I'm in the US. Thank you for asking. Program your subconscious mind. If you are not programming your subconscious mind, you are not getting the full results of this glow up. You have to get your brain ready. A lot of people rely solely on glowing up and they want to change their external, not realizing that your internal has to prepare for this. It will dysregulate your nervous system if you are not ready. Okay? You have to prepare yourself. Even as I am going into a new season with a new role that I'm going to have, I am literally like, once I knew I was in the running for this, I made some affirmations and I'm listening to them every morning to get myself prepared. I went out driving to see how far I would have to go every morning. I wrote out my morning routine so that I can be prepared for this next step. I encourage you to do the same. That is going to transform your life. Okay, so let's talk about, as we are moving into our 90-day glow up, I want to share some things because I think a lot of people, especially in this online era of feminine energy versus masculine energy, I don't think people understand how they work hand in hand to help you have a glow up. I think some people are so focused on, oh, I shouldn't be doing anything, I should be really flowy. Or some people are burnt out in toxic masculinity where they are overdoing it. So I want you to have a balance during your winter arc. This shouldn't be something that you cannot sustain. Your winter arc is, again, preparing you for 2025. It is not something that you are just throwing and thrusting yourself into because you're trying to get these quick results. Okay? This new season that we are entering is not about quick results. It is about longevity. It's about sustainability. Hello, Liz. Thank you. You want to sustain your results. So during this time, you want to create lifestyle changes. Share that in the chat. If you are committed to lifestyle changes, let me know. Because when you commit to lifestyle changes, you are going to see the greatest results. These 90 days are just to get you in momentum, but we want you to move forward on that momentum. No longer are we trying to manifest things overnight, manifest things in an hour. We are creating sustainable results that we can reproduce over and over and over. If you were anything like me, you were tired of trying to force things to happen. You were tired of building this huge pressure of getting certain results. And you're like, look, I'm tired of this. I want my results on autopilot. If you're with me, do you want results on autopilot? Do you want to just get everything naturally and not feel overwhelmed? Then keep listening, because this is what it's going to take, balancing your masculine and feminine energies. So let's talk a little bit deeper. So masculine energy in itself, I want to be clear, is not a bad thing. A lot of people have given masculinity this terrible rep, or probably over the last maybe 4 or 5 years. They have said things online in regards to, especially with women, like, oh, you shouldn't be, committed. You shouldn't be as disciplined. You should go with the flow, do all of these things. Listen, you have to have both masculine and feminine energy. What I have learned is that when people depart from that masculine energy, you are taking away your shield. Masculinity, the divine masculinity, not toxic masculinity, okay? Divine masculinity is all about getting in a protective shield. If you cannot get into that protective shield, then you are not going to get the results that you would like to see. You have to create that. The reason why I am thriving the way that I am today is because I have a masculine shield around me. That allows you to relax into your feminine energy. So what do I mean by this masculine shield? So let's say your goal, as I mentioned, is maybe to make or save $1,000 within your winter arc. So that masculine shield is going to make you be committed, right? Committed to what you are doing on a daily basis. That means you're getting up, at a certain time. You have a routine. You're listening to your affirmations. All right. Even if your goal is to the fitness journey, right? Because that has been my winter arc focus. So that means you're going and you're doing your workouts. You're eating your high protein meals. That is the masculine shield. That is the discipline. That is the structure that you are creating around your goal, right? But the feminine part of that is, well, number one, we do have to rest, right? Number two, we're not overwhelming ourselves. Number three, maybe we do kind of go with the flow a little bit with certain things and we bring joy into our lives. We're not focused on, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. No, we are really taking our time to propel ourselves forward. So understand, if you're going to glow up, you are going to have to give yourself a shield. You cannot just say, oh, I'm going to do XYZ and never commit, never be disciplined. That is a masculine structure that will propel you forward. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and just be so militant that you don't enjoy your life, but you have to have that masculine shield there. Now, the masculine shield is that protective layer, but it's also the realistic part. So, for example, there are some times where you may see a lot of people online that are telling you, okay, you need to up your goals, right? Cool, that sounds good, but if you don't have the masculine shield and that structure and the realism, you're probably not going to reach those goals. It may be too much right now. That masculine shield is realistic where you are, and they want that energy wants you to not put so much pressure on yourself, but actually make something achievable. Okay, your 90 days, you may not, if you're only making, 50K, you may not be able to double to 100K within the 90 days. That may not be doable or sustainable, but maybe you can increase maybe by 5,000, right? You're taking those incremental steps. And what I have learned is that when you are in and using that protective shield of masculinity, it allows you to do things in a decent and orderly way. And you are going to be able to see the long term. You are going to be able to sustain this. And this will be a lifestyle change where you can actually move forward. Okay. So I do want to share too. Feminine energy is not this terrible thing that is just airy fairy, right? Because I think that's what a lot of people put online, is that the airy fairy way of life is what feminine energy is. So let me pause there because I want to answer the question. Okay, so how can you improve? Like, okay, I see what you're saying. So if you were in your winter arc, but maybe you made, some mistakes, you want to get back on track. What I would do first is get my journal out and look to see, how did I get off track? What happened? Were my goals too high for me and I didn't feel like I could meet them? Was I not focused? Did I make too many goals? If you go back to the first part, you can find it on my YouTube channel as well. For the first part, I mentioned only focusing on one thing during your winter arc, not several. Because when you're focused on more than one thing, you are not going to be able to really quantum leap in that area because you are spread so thin. So only focus on one thing. Then create those habits, right? At least 3 habits that you can do every day and commit to that, right? So if again, maybe you want to lose 5 pounds during your winter arc, cool. 3 things you can do to do that: diet, exercise, and maybe you have supplements. Boom, you're doing that every day. That is going to get you the best results as opposed to trying to do everything. Okay, So also, don't be disappointed in yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. I want to be clear and transparent. Change does not happen overnight. It is something that comes over time. But we are using this winter arc to propel us forward so we can already have that rhythm and routine into 2025. So that's how you kind of pick yourself up and also forgive yourself because we've all started things and failed. Like it's not uncommon, right? Give yourself grace, but let yourself know I can do this. And I can do it by taking my time and being realistic and moving forward. So I want to go back into that feminine energy, and I want to be clear. Having feminine energy makes your glow up sustainable, right? While you are committed and you have your practices and you have your discipline of things that you are doing on a daily basis, when you infuse feminine energy, you are going to have a glow up that's going to make you happy and it's going to bring joy to you because that's what the feminine does. So, the way to do this, number one, is you will have that intuition. So, on your glow up journey, when you are infusing feminine energy, your intuition is going to be on 10. This is where you can quantum leap because when you have that feminine energy and you're able to read into things, you are able to open that third eye. You'll be able to know, okay, is this the right path for me? Is this the right path? What is the shortest, quickest way to get the results that I want, right? But also making it something that can be long lasting. My intuition has peaked during my winter arc where I can see things more clearly. Like it just makes it so much better. And I am noticing, for example, even in, my eating habits, I'm able to see, I'm able to focus. That's that feminine energy that we all need. Another thing that makes your glow up sustainable is the self-care, right? Are you giving yourself that self-care that you need? For me, with the fitness journey, I literally have to zone in and give myself that time to recover, to rest, to relax. I am going to the chiropractor. I will get a massage. I have to do different things, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive. It can be simply just going to sleep on time as a self-care practice. There are so many different things that you can do, but this is going to make you want to stay committed to your goals, right? When you get burnt out, because that's the masculine toxic masculine energy, is when you're always burnt out, you're running, you're hustle, hustle, hustle. You're not going to want to keep doing that. You're not going to want to make it long lasting. But that feminine energy will. I will also say slowing down. Slowing down is another part of the feminine energy that's going to make things better for you. Okay? That is going to propel you forward. Slow down. If even whenever you are habit stacking and you're listening to your affirmations, slow down with your drink. Slow down with your meal. If you're out for a walk, just take your time. Getting ready in the morning, take your time. When you slow down, it allows you to start going within. And that's the last part of the feminine piece, is when you are using that energy, going within will change your life. Going within is where you look and you see, who am I and who do I want to be? What do I need to heal? How do I move forward? You need to do these things, because what will happen is, if you're just so focused on the going, the doing, and not recognizing who you are being, you could be chasing goals that don't even align with you. You could be out in society just trying to please other people. And you wonder why you haven't grown up the way you want. You wonder why, when you start to reinvent yourself, why you aren't where you want to be. It is because you are not in divine alignment with your next level. Go within. This is going to show you the next step. That's where that intuition starts to peak. Okay? Do some deep, deep healing work. And as I've mentioned, shesworthy.org is my platform. You guys can check that out for resources. I'm also here on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. And I have so many videos, so many just different pieces that can help you go within. I'm also on Etsy with Money Honey Hive, and I want you guys to join any way that you can so that you can really get the results that you want. So, a few more things. I want to talk about why people even choose to have a winter arc. A winter arc, as I've mentioned, is just a chance to prepare you for that new year, but also it makes it exciting during this time of the year because you'll see more seasonal depression. It's darker earlier. You know, you just have all of these things that kind of make you want to stay inside, not really talk or go out or anything like that. And so that's the reason why this trend has taken place, and you can use it to your advantage. Again, whether you are watching this when we're already in 2025, or even if you are, catching it live with me right now, you can still use all of these steps. So I'm going to give you a couple things that I would encourage you to do during your winter arc. Number one, make sure you are taking a vitamin D supplement. You want to check in with your healthcare provider, of course, to see that that is safe for you. But vitamin D actually helps you with your mood. Sunshine is also very important as well. Go out, even if it's for a walk or you're just sitting outside, get some sunlight so that way you can improve your overall mood and the quality of your life. The next thing I would recommend is changing up your diet. Change up your diet. So for me, I have a high protein diet because I am really burning fat right now. So that is the most sustainable for me, and I can do that long term. I really love and enjoy that full feeling. And I've always been a healthy eater in general, but just doing this just really pushes me forward more. And then during this time, you want to also get into some of your passions. If there are passion projects that you have that you think are going to allow you to just have that happiness or that joy, do it. For me, it is doing these types of lives. I love painting. I love cleaning, cooking, just things like that. That really boost my mood, especially during a winter arc like this, where, a lot of people are seeing snow, they can't do certain things. This is going to help you be able to just feel really good overall. Now, the last thing that I want to share for you to do during this winter arc, you guys, I have given you all the tea, okay? I've given you a lot of things that you can do to be able to help yourself. So definitely take the time to digest all of this one step at a time, though, okay? Always remember that. I mentioned about the... Are we back? I hope so. Let's see. We're back. Okay. I think it blinked just a little bit, but I share this with the feminine aspect, but I want to make sure you all are aware of this: deep healing. You really need to do some deep healing during your winter arc. You cannot get around it. This is the perfect time. Few things to think about. What upper limits do you have? Is anything holding you back? Whether it's people, circumstances, situations, I really want you to think about what you might feel could be something that you keep hitting, right? Even people don't understand that upper limits is not about what is going wrong. It could also be about what is going right. So even if you have like a good life but you find yourself complaining or being down or, not the happiest, it might be because you have upper limits of life being so good. So really sit with yourself and think about what that looks like. The next thing is inner child healing. Look what your inner child might need. Go back and think about, how you grew up and what life was like for you, and think about the depth of what that inner child needs. So do they need some quality time, a hug, whatever it is your inner child is craving, give that to yourself. And it is going to really make that relationship with your younger self much better, because whether we know it or not, our inner child is typically running the show if we're not aware of it. And so we have to take that into consideration and really make room for our inner child to be happy, because it's going to make us overall happy and the most successful. And I want to leave you guys with this thought. Your winter arc, this is glow up season. And I want you all to put your best foot forward in this glow up season. If you happen to need any support, again, you can go to shesworthy.org, and I will be more than happy to support you in your journey. I want you guys to stay with me on this, because I'm also going to talk about my results from my winter arc, and I probably will have even more tips to give you in terms of things that worked or things that didn't work. And I'm excited. I'm happy that you all have joined me here live, or if you're listening in on the radio, TV station. Like, this is a great opportunity for us to connect, and I want us to keep moving forward. Thank you for being a part of the Money Goddess community. I love you all so much, and take care.